Okay, this is Payoff Pitch. This is a two-player game that can be played in about 5 to 10 minutes. It is a pitcher versus batter duel. The pitcher is trying to get 3 strikes against the batter. The batter is trying to get a hit or a walk to close out the game and get on base. It's either that one or the other. Either you get the out as the pitcher or you get on base as the batter. So there's a very clear winner and loser here. What the pitcher is trying to do is manage to throw a few strikes past the batter. That they're going to do by throwing some of these pitches here. A pitch is a strike if it is hittable somewhere within this 3x3 grid. Each of these pitches helps determine where the pitch is going to be hittable in the grid. To give you some examples here, we figure out where a pitch is hittable by the combination of what kind of pitch it is and where you are throwing it. You can either throw inside, straight down the middle, or outside. In this case, this ephus pitch just shows you which row it's actually hittable in, which is the last one. It's the bottom row over here. That's the one that's marked in yellow. The middle one's marked in orange. Top one's marked in red to make it a little bit easier to read. So if I'm throwing this straight down the middle into the yellow, that means it is hittable right here in this bottom box. If I was throwing outside, it'd be hittable right here in that box. Give another example. Let's hold off on that one. This fastball is hittable in that first row, so if I throw it down the middle, it's hittable in this box. If I was throwing inside, it'd be hittable on that box. Now the ones with these arrows move a little bit once they enter into a box with an arrow. So this one would go forward, get into this box right here, move over once, and become hittable in this box over here, since it is hittable in the orange area. It only ever moves one box per row. So this doesn't go all the way over, it just slides over to the center here. This would be hittable in the dead center part of the plate. Curveball over here, same thing, would be hittable right here. If I threw it down the middle, if I threw it outside, it'd be hittable right there. And to go back to the one I avoided early on, if I can find it now. Why is it hiding from me? Oh, I threw it all the way over here. This wild pitch, the whole idea of this is there is no way to keep this onto the plate. It goes completely flying off. Which, the thing is, if the batter still swings at it, that's still a strike. They have to not swing at a pitch off the plate for it to be a walk. But it's still a risk to throw out there. There is another way that you can add to this and make the pitch a little bit harder to hit, but I will show you that in a moment. The batter is using this to indicate their swing by putting it on one of these 4 dots and turning it into one of these kind of orientations. The blue is marking the spot where they want to actually swing for. That's their sweet spot right now. They're betting that the pitch is going to go dead center in the middle. These striped areas off to the side, they'd still actually hit if the pitch fell into one of these 2 spots, but it'd be a foul ball. They weren't able to control it and hit it forward. This area in the back, they just completely miss. So the batter is trying to orient this so that the blue is facing the spot where the pitch is going to be hittable. So how you set up the game is you get these 2 set up in the middle, batter takes a swing, and the pitcher shuffles up all of their cards. They're going to discard 2 immediately. These are face up, so the batter knows what they have, or what the pitcher doesn't have. In the story of the game, I picture that these 2 are the pitches that got them in the 3-0 hole. The pitcher's then going to, from the cards that are left, make their own pitch deck. These are the pitches that they're going to be throwing. They can take any number of pitches from here, but each of them are assigned this kind of difficulty rating, somewhere between 0 and 2. The total of all the pitchers they put aside has to add up to 3 or less. So you can't have all of the best pitches. A fastball is a little bit better than a sinker. And if you have all the best pitches, it's almost impossible for the batter. So this just keeps it so you have whatever pitches you like, but at a kind of understandable degree. So I'm going to take these 2. This is now my pitch deck of these 2 pitches. And then these 4 cards make up my hand and stay with me. So how I determine we start the game is I take my pitch deck and I do a little quick shuffle. I then ask the batter to, much like a catcher, call the pitch. Since I have 2 cards, he's either going to go 1 or 2. Let's say it goes 2. After I've shuffled them, I take second card, put it on top, and I can take a look at it. Now I know what my pitch is, and I can set where I'm throwing it. So I'm going to throw outside for this one. Batter then takes his swing and can place it in any orientation on any of these 4. So he knows I don't have a fastball. He's probably thinking maybe he's got a changeup and he's going to go down the middle. Let's go with that right there. Now, I know what my pitch is and know what this is. I can choose to take one of the cards from my hand and put a little something on the pitch. Each of the cards has this grid that shows you how the pitch works, but it also has this reveal action at the bottom. The reveal action is putting a little something on it. It has an effect on the pitch and moves it around a little bit. As an example here, this sinker, if I put a little something on it with this card, it will add 1 right arrow in red, meaning that this will move a little bit this way. This fastball, if I was to put a little something on it with it, it says the hitting area moves up 1. So if this was normally something that was hittable down here in yellow, it would get the hitting area get moved up to orange. So that allows me to put a little something on it. In this instance, I am going to choose not to put anything on it, and I think that we're in good position. The batter now gets to take one of 4 actions. They can either move 1 orthogonally to another blue dot, but they can't change their orientation. They can rotate 90 degrees, like so. They can leave this exactly where it is and focus on me, which forces me to discard one of these cards of their choosing. They choose blindly out of here. Or they can decide not to swing at all. Let's say they decide not to swing at all. If they don't swing, this has 2 effects. One, if it's off the plate and it's not hittable anywhere in that 3x3 grid, they're just going to win. It also means that no matter what, after they've taken their action, I do have to show off what the pitch was. In this case, it was a slider. And because I'm playing this upside down, they would have completely won the game right now, because this would have gone completely off the plate over there, and they would have gotten the walk. So let's just pretend I had said that instead. So normally, this would have actually gone back face down as a strike and then shuffled over. If he had moved, if he had rotated, or if he had focused, this would go back. Because he is not swung and he's checked his swing, he's been watching the pitcher the entire time, and he now knows what my windup looks like for this pitch. And it stays face up now for the rest of the game. However, at least if I threw it over here, since it would be hittable down in this square, we go to 3-1. I have thrown 1 strike. I begin a new round just like the first one by shuffling these 2 like this. And I ask the batter, what's the call, 1 or 2? If he says 2, I take the one at the bottom. Dang it, is the slider that he already knows. And it has to remain face up. So, he's probably going to position himself just like this to make sure to cover that corner where it is likely to end up. And I am definitely going to put something on it. And that is going to be this one. And now he gets to take an action. So maybe I'm trying to move this up, but that's kind of what this one would do. Maybe I'm trying to move it over 1. So maybe he's going to guess that I'm actually trying to move it to this orientation right there. He moves 1, hoping that maybe I've scooted it this way. I then reveal what I've got here. This actually adds 1 left in red, so this one is off the plate again, but he still swung at it, so that is going to be a strike for me. We go to 3-2. This stays up for his information, and I still have a few cards that I can go with. I shuffle up these guys. I ask what he's got. This time he says 1, and I am very pleased because that's the top card and the one he doesn't know what I've got. I'm going to throw this straight down the middle, and now he's going off of what information does he have, which are these 3 cards. He knows I don't have those. He knows that this isn't the slider I was throwing before, and maybe he decides to go up here and try to get something. I decide I'm going to put a little something on it. I play this guy. And he decides maybe I'm throwing off the plate again, and he decides not to swing. I play this wild card as what I'm putting on it. This is actually just a juke. It's a fake out. This reveal has no effect on the pitch. It is specifically there for that, so I can look like I'm putting something on it and do nothing. And my other pitch was an ephus pitch, so it ends up right there as a strike, and the pitcher wins the game. That's basically that's the whole game right there. The way you would score this if you went back and forth, like you switch roles and this person pitched and I was batting, is if you're trying to get a score to compare it, because most of the time the pitcher does win, you count and score up all of the cards that you didn't flip face up. So these are the 3 that didn't get revealed. So my score would be that I won with 4 points. The only other thing that's in here that you might want to know is this wild card is a little bit weird. Is a way to push things off. It is a way to fake out something, but you can kind of draw the bulk out of this. If you are able to get a foul ball, meaning you hit in these kind of striped areas here, you actually, like that's where the pitch is hittable and you get it in the striped area, you discard 2 cards from the pitcher's hand. If you discard this card from their hand, whether it be from focusing or from a foul ball, they lose immediately. So you kind of want to get rid of this card, but it's also a great fake out to have. So it's a little bit of a pressure luck if you want to keep this around or not. But that is the whole game. That is Payoff Pitch. I hope you like it, and thanks for taking a look.